For the typical American that we introduced you to earlier, they are borrowing to pay for large expenses, for their lifestyle, or capital for their business. We call these people debtors. They work to spend, and since they don't have capital working for them, they can't save. Now, when expenses come up, they borrow that money and slowly repay the loan using future income. They always pay interest. The cycle of continued borrowing and repaying continues, but they are always working just to get back to zero. The debtors have obligated the majority of their future paychecks to somebody else. They have become someone else's asset. Now, the next way that we can do things, or maybe this is the traditional way that our parents and grandparents handle large expenses, is that they saved up for their money. When they have a large expense come up, what they do is they simply spend the money that they have in their savings to pay for it. Or, to quote, they drain their tank. Now, as savers go through their life, they are continuously going through a cycle of filling their tank and then draining their tank. Every time they have a big expense, their tank is drained and they return back to zero. In this comparison, they are no better off than the debtor. They still wind up at zero. Each time they drain their tank, they kill their power of compounding and they have to start over. But not only do they kill their power of compounding, what they're actually doing is they're transferring their wealth to somebody else. But even worse, they are transferring the future compounding potential of that wealth to somebody else as well. Think of the lost opportunity cost. I'll show you the math on that in a bit. Now, the third way of spending and saving is to be a wealth creator. These are people who save as much of their money as possible. And then, when they need to make a large purchase, they access capital by collateralizing their wealth. The key is to borrow against an appreciating asset, thus never interrupting compound interest. This secret, this key, is what the wealthiest families have done in America for generations. Using this strategy, you are never interrupting the compound interest on your savings. And not only are you recapturing all of the principal of a purchase by paying it back to yourself, you're also leveraging the incredible power of OPM, other people's money, and you're leveraging other people's money at effectively no cost. Well, how would that work?